Hi, Internet. Thank you for 2 years on YouTube. I don't really know what to say other than thank you for all the support I've gotten over the last couple of years. It really does mean a lot to me. So, to celebrate, I wanted to do a game room tour. This is more of just a state of the game room, and we'll cover basically everything in here, and I'll try to go into as much detail as possible, but there isn't as much as there once was, just because I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff over the last couple of years. But there still is a substantial amount of stuff to talk about, and I'm starting with an overview of everything. And I just want to again express my thanks and sincere appreciation for all the support the channel's gotten over the last couple of years. It really does mean a lot to me. So, this is going to be a bit of a longer video, so sit back, relax, and enjoy the game room tour of 2023, October 2023 at that. Okay, so for the game room tour, we're going to start at the modern area. Well, I say modern. This is just where I keep all of my HDMI out consoles. So let's start off with the TV actually. It's a 55-inch Samsung 4K TV. I picked it up a couple years ago and it is a beautiful TV. Highly recommended. Samsung makes great TVs. And I think I only paid like 500 bucks for it. So it was a pretty good deal. And as you can see, I have my Switch attached to it. I've been playing Super Mario Bros. Wonder, which is fantastic. Um, let's talk about the Switch, actually. It's the Pokemon OLED Switch. I've had a couple Switches in my years collecting. I've had four, actually. This is my fourth. And I've just kind of traded them as time goes on. And eventually I've ended up with the Pokemon Switch right here. And I love this thing. And it looks great. And I'm very happy to have it. Down here, we have an Oculus Rift S2, I want to say. I can't entirely remember the name of it. I picked it up off of a Facebook Market trade. And it's my sort of introduction to VR, if you would. And I keep it in here, but I don't use it in here because it has to be used via my computer. So I just keep it in here just for fun. Then we have three Xbox 360s. We have an original Xbox 360. Well, I guess I shouldn't say original. That's like the arcade edition, right? And then we have the Modern Warfare 2, and then we have the Halo edition. And so this one works just fine, but it's a little finicky when connecting controllers. The Modern Warfare 2 one, the disc tray doesn't open for some reason, and the Halo one works perfectly. So I just have these three. Some controllers for the Switch. I have the Zelda Joy-Cons, and the Pokemon ones are attached to the Switch. I have some retro mini consoles right here. I have the NES Mini. Unfortunately, this little door doesn't open, and the PS1 Mini. And speaking of Sony, I have my PlayStation 3 that I've had for about 10 years now. I got it as a college gift when I moved out for college. My then girlfriend got it for me. And I also have my Destiny PS4, which I had the original PS4 that I got the day Fallout 4 came out, and I eventually traded it for the Destiny one. No, I'm sorry, shouldn't say I traded it. I gave it to my brother and got the Destiny one. And then of course we have the PS5, which can't fit in one of these normal little cubbies here, so it has to have the middle part removed, and it resides here. I love the PS5. I think it is fantastic, and I am very lucky to have it. So that will conclude the modern section, and now we're going to move over to more of the retro stuff. So let's talk about all of this stuff here. There is a lot to talk about. So this whole shelving unit was actually a gift from my mom when I moved into this apartment complex. She said, "Wow, you have a lot of games." And I said, "Yeah, I do." And she says, "Well, you need somewhere to store them." So we went on Amazon and we picked out this shelving unit. It was about $250, and it took a while for me to put together, but it was well worth it. So I'll just go through almost everything on here. I'm going to probably skip the 2,600 games down there because, and the few odds and ends of my DVDs, because who cares? You guys are more interested in the games. So this used to be filled to the brim with games, and I've ended up selling quite a bit of it, basically starting over, if you would. And I've sold most of my NES, Super Nintendo, N64, all these Sony games, the PS1, the PS2, and the PS3. Those have, they were all gone 2 months ago. And this is what I've bought back, restarted collecting in my time. So we're going to start actually up here with my Jaguar collection. Now, I have spoken at length about how much I love my Atari Jaguar. It is one of my favorite consoles, and I am so lucky to have it. And I have a number of games for it, too. Brutal Sports Football, Tempest 2000, Wolfenstein 3D, Iron Soldier. Brutal Sports Football is complete in box. And then I have some loose cards. So Zool 2, the card for Iron Soldier, Dino Dudes, the card for Wolfenstein, card for Tempest, Checkered Flag, and Cybermorph. Where did you learn to fly? Just classic, lots of fun. I just love my Jaguar. I have some box 32X games up here. Well, I shouldn't say box. The boxes are up here. The cartridges are right here. And then I have some 5200 games. This is a Mega EverDrive for the Genesis. So this little SD card up here has every Genesis and 32X game on it. And you just pop that in and play it. This is a Japanese Hey You Pikachu, complete in box. This is not a copy of Earthbound. This is the only repo copy production card I have. I saw it at a shop one day and it was like 25 cents. And I said, "Hey, that's really cheap for Earthbound." They said, "Well, because it's not real." And I said, "Oh." So I bought it anyways. Harry Potter DVDs. I got an amazing deal on. I'm not really going to spend too much time on DVDs, but I have the original DVD set that I paid $30 for. And then I was walking through a Mega Replay one day, and this popped up. The 8-film collection for $14.99. Someone messed up really bad there with the pricing. So I got an incredible deal on that. All 8 movies for 4K Ultra HD for $14. Coming down here, we have some PSP leftover games. Just stuff that wouldn't really sell if I got rid of it. We have my 32X games. We have... what does it say? I can't read that. Shadow Squadron, Cosmic Carnage, NBA Jam, Doom, 36 Holes of Golf, and Tough Man Contest. We also have some leftover Wii games, some leftover DS and 3DS and GBA games, and then my Atari 7800 games. You can see them here. Hat Trick, Food Fight, Cracked. I don't know how you say that. Karateka, Centipede, Asteroids, Donkey Kong, and Pole Position 2. Underneath that, you have the remnants of my Super Nintendo collection. We have Super Metroid and Castlevania 4. You have the remnants of my N64 collection. Mario Kart, No Mercy, Doom 64, Paper Mario. And then you have my recently resurrected NES collection. Simon's Quest, Metroid, the original Zelda goes here. Castlevania 3, Tetris, Mario, Ghosts and Goblins, Milon's Secret Castle, Kid Icarus, my favorite NES game, and the original Castlevania. Underneath that, you have some Atari 5200 games. I still love my 5200, so here's a bunch of the games I have for it. I have about half the collection right now. There's only 69 games for it, and I have about half. There's more down here, and even more down here. And I pick these up whenever I can, just because they're so hard to come by, and when I see them, I just have to get them. So this is now my PS1 collection. A few months ago, this was only 3 games. Clock Tower, Symphony of the Night, and Silent Hill. And as you can see, it's grown to an entire row. So I'll just do a slow pan across for everyone to see what games they have, or I have. There we go. And we'll move on. I guess since we did PS1, we'll do PS2 next. I'm not going to go through all of these games. I'm just going to do a slow pan down to show what I have. I think the most expensive game is Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel. I think I paid $50 for that. And then some extras on the bottom. But yeah, that's my PS2 collection. And then PS3, here's the first row. You can see everything right here. And then the second row. So then there's like a bunch of Atari games and stuff like that. Some loose ends over there. I'm not going to go through everything like that. I just wanted to kind of show off this main area and, you know, just go through everything. So now we're going to move on to this side of the room. So this side of the room has changed not really a lot over the past couple of years since I've been here. It's just basically been storage, if you would. Not that all this isn't storage, but at the same time, this doesn't really have much in the terms of games. It has more just boxes and controllers and stuff like that. But let's start at the top here. I have my Pokemon Switch box, my PS5 box, my original Switch box, Ellie from The Last of Us Part 2 Collector's Edition, my little Mario light, another box there, a light that I use when I'm filming because I film in this corner right here, and then magazines, or I guess guidebooks. I have a bunch of them. Art books, guidebooks, all that good stuff. And then I have the Fallout roleplay game down there, which I've never used. And then I have the Among Us Collector's Edition, which I got recently. Don't really know where to put that, so it's just going to hang out there for now. Over here, we have some stuff. We have my NCR flag, which I got off of Amazon. This unit right here is a Philips CDI. I got it off of Facebook for about $100, and I'm very happy that I got that. It barely works, but when it does work, it's really funny, and I don't really have any games for it. I just kind of have the system, but it's one of those things where, like, I'm never going to see one again for that cheap, so I might as well get it. Up here we have the trackball controller for my 5200. Love that thing, and it works. The Last of Us 2 Collector's Edition. By the way, that's a Minecraft B. And under here is where I keep all my controllers. So these are all sort of separated and labeled. And if I pop one open, like the N64 one, you can see that there's some third-party controllers and stuff like that. And PS1, PS2, Xbox, and everything is labeled. And just want to point out how big the Jaguar controllers are. They are massive. This one's still wrapped up in rubber band. I guess I never got around to really using it. So, yeah, that's the controller area. There's not much to really say about this area. It just kind of exists. So we're going to transfer over to this area. Now, this area is kind of a mess right now because I'm testing this NES. This NES is busted. Half the time when I put a cartridge in, it doesn't read the cartridge. It just kind of boots and reboots over and over again. And the other half of the time, well, I should say the other 40% of the time, it just, the picture comes in all scrambled. So this is just kind of a test bench at the moment. But when it does work, it looks great. So it's playing Zelda right now. And this is going to a Sony Trinitron TV. Here is the model number, in case you're interested. That's an S, not a 5. And I got this Trinitron. I love this Trinitron. I paid $20 for it. I got it off of Facebook, and someone was just using it as a monitor. So I asked for it, and they said sure. So I went and hauled it out. It's a heavy-ass TV, but it looks and sounds fantastic. So this is where I do a lot of retro gaming because they all go into this TV. And if I need to do any HD gaming, it goes to that TV. And then this extra monitor here, I was testing a Raspberry Pi for a Pi'Cade, and just left the monitor there to test it. So yeah, that's this area. This is where I play all my retro games. And now we're going to move on to the bookshelves that are next to me. So these bookshelves have changed a lot over the past year. If you remember, this used to be filled to the brim with PS4 games. Those are all gone. All that's left is some PS5, some PS4, some Switch, some Xbox games. Up here we have this little Minecraft Lego set. Love this thing. My college degree is right there too. The Bayonetta triple game set. I can't remember what this is called. The Bayonetta 3, what does it say? Trinity Masquerade Edition. Some Pokemon and cards and stuff like that. I don't really collect Pokemon cards. It's just one of those things that, like, oh, I see they're on sale. Let me just pick up a couple packs. And this is maybe 2 years worth of collecting. So don't expect any Pokemon card videos. Down here, we have the remnants of my PS4 and PS5 collection. This will eventually get back to what it was, but I just didn't need all of the games that I had. It was just kind of taking up space and wasn't really, worth it to keep. But you can see all the games here, and yeah, I'll just keep the camera here for a few more seconds so people can really get a look at everything. And then we're going to move on to the next bookshelf, which honestly doesn't have a lot. It's just kind of here for storage. It's got a lamp. What I'm more interested in is what's up top here. Boy, these are dusty. PSP Go in box. PS Vita. This is my sister's Game Boy Advance SP and my DS from when I was a kid. We have the Super Mario Brothers 25th anniversary DS. What is this? Is it DS XL? Yep, DS XL. And a Game Boy Light from Japan, and a modded Game Boy Advance. And then we have a bunch of loose games, Game Boy games, Game Boy Color, bunch of Pokemon, DS, some Game Boy games, my original copy of Emerald from when I was a kid, which I desperately need to get a new battery for. And actually, now that I look at it, it looks like the battery is kind of leaking, so I might have to take a look at that sooner than later. And, yeah, that's this area right here. This used to have a lot more in it, but over the years, stuff has kind of gone away. And I guess since we're here, we could transition to the console area. So this is where I house all my retro consoles. It's just this big mesh unit that I put all the consoles on. So we'll just start at the top. This This Super Nintendo right here was the first retro console I ever got with my own money after I graduated. And then I picked this one up because this one stopped working. We have 32X and Genesis, my Atari 5200, I love this thing. My beloved Jaguar, a Sega Saturn that's modded actually to use an SD card right there. I did a whole video on that. 2 PS2s, I used to have 3, I gave one to my brother. An Atari 7800, under that a PS1. 3 Wii's, 2 GameCubes, one's modded, one's not. You can see the modding video for, I think it was my 100 subscribers special. And a 2600 right there. Finally, we have this little corner right here. I'm not really sure what to call this corner. It just has a ton of Rubik's Cubes that some I can solve, some I can't. It's got my Fallout Collector's Editions, except for the Fallout 76 Collector's Edition, which is still inside the closet right there. And that door is just a bathroom. But I have the Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 3 Lunchbox, and that is an actual Pip-Boy 3000. I love that thing. It actually turns on and works just fine. And underneath that is a Commodore 64. And then I have a poster of Far Cry 6, which was not a good game, but I got the poster anyways, so yeah. So that will conclude my game room tour for October 2023. And I again just want to say thank you very much to everyone for supporting the channel and watching the videos and putting up with my crappy upload schedule over the past couple weeks or months, I should say. And this really just gives me an outlet to express my love for collecting video games, and I'm very thankful to have the audience that I have. And we just hit 350 subscribers, so thank you very much for that, and have a wonderful day.